Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Carol Burnett Show. No, it's Outside Looking In with Bruce Negg. We're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How you doing? Doing all right. It's Friday. It's 6 p.m. in the evening. I just did about 5 hours of yard work. That's right. That's what you do when you're off. When you get out of the office early, you do yard work. Blowing leaves, doing all this kind of stuff up in Western Maryland, hanging out in an undisclosed location. Tired, man. Tired. That's right. Tired. Body tired. But it's good. It's good. It feels good. I got Miller Lite cans because we're down by the lake. I don't want to throw bottles and glass. It's not cool. Definitely not cool. So what do you do when you come to Western Maryland? You go to the Walmart. Not Walmart, the Walmart, because it deserves a special recognition. The Walmart. You go in there and they got everything. And stuff is cheap. Let me tell you, it's cheap in the Walmart. You go in there. Today was the first thing. I bought all this stuff for the house, for the kids, for the, for the weekend, hot dogs, hamburgers, all that kind of stuff. And they had Sabrett's hot dogs. I was shocked and amazed. They had Nathan's and Sabrett's. Good for Nathan's and Sabrett's for getting into Walmart, because Sabrett's is probably the best grilling hot dog out there. Nathan's is the best hot dog if you're buying at a Nathan's store. Hebrew National is pretty good, but Hebrew National is off the charts in terms of the cost. Sabrett's is probably the best for the cost. It is good. It's just straight up good. So there's your Memorial Day barbecue tip from Bruce Nice. I haven't called myself that in a long time, at least not on the air or anywhere. But anyway, that's the barbecuing tip, Sabrett's hot dogs. And Brian Stadnick once told me how to cook them. So you put them on the grill and you just roll them over. And then you roll them back. You roll them over, roll them back. Everybody wants to know, how can you become such a good grill master? You know how you do it? And Eric, this is for you, my brother, because he's not very good on the grill. But anyway, how you do it is that you pay attention. I've learned that I can't have a sip of beer, throw a thing on the grill, and walk away for 22 minutes and then come back and think it's going to be good. I got to stay by the grill and pay attention. I don't like to marinate. I don't like to do this, that, or the other thing. You know, just a little salt and pepper once it comes off. Not even the pepper, just some salt. Once steak comes off, steak is steak. The caveman didn't have A1 sauce or marinade or any of that nonsense, right?
Oh, I marinated my thing for 32 hours in the stove in the fridge, and then I had some Russian dressing, and I rubbed in a dry garlic.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! So anyway, I was at Walmart. It's going to be this kind of show, yo. I'm just letting you know. Had 2 beers. I dehydrated myself doing the yard work. So now I'm had 2 beers, and we're feeling good. I don't mind telling you. It's about time I felt good, right? I've been not feeling so good lately. But I'm getting back. The hip, if anybody cares, the hip is doing okay. You know, for a while I told you, I'll tell you how hip surgery is and all that kind of stuff. I got a replacement hip. I'm feeling okay. I'm playing hockey again. I don't think about it. If I play too much or, the problem is the running. If I run, then I feel it. But it scares me because every once in a while, people are like, why are you running? Well, I got to see if I could run away if someone's trying to beat me up or something. I got to see if I can run. But a little nervous about playing softball. How ridiculous is that? Nervous about playing softball. But it's running. I could be the first baseman or the third baseman maybe and not have to move. But, get the hit. The doctor told me, he goes, if you want to play softball, remember Babe Ruth in those movies where he runs like, he goes, that's the way I'm going to have to run. And I'm like, ugh. If I can't take my normal gazelle-like stride, what am I going to do? Right? Gazelle. Eric, again, more references to you than anything that I know of. But anyway, I'm at the Walmart. So I get to the Walmart and I got all this stuff. I got Drano. I got Roundup. I got grass seed. I mean, heavy items. Like I was on the Price is Right. So I'm like, 27.01. Ooh, I hate the guy who does 01. But anyway, 14.73. I got the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the rolls, all this kind of stuff. I go up there and I'm like, this is going to be like $300. It was $200. I was shocked that I got $200. That's what I was shocked about, that I just spent $200. No, I was shocked the Walmart was cheap. It was cheap, and I didn't buy any junky clothes. That's the thing. If you go to Walmart, you could buy some junky clothes. And my brother had the best thing. He goes, don't buy junk anymore, Bruce. Don't buy junk. Don't buy that $11 shirt that's going to unravel in the wash in 3 washings. Unless you were at some overnight thing. I've done that before. It wasn't the Walmart. I guess it was not Kohl's. What was the store? Maze. I think it was. I don't know what the store was. It was in Union Square. I was with somebody. I didn't have a chance to get my clothes, change my clothes. I was like, I can't go back to work in the same clothes. So I went to Maze or something and bought a whole new outfit for like $11. That was worth it because I didn't feel like spending money for that. But anyway, Walmart was cheap. The thing about Walmart, though, it's like I don't normally go. Walmart's not in my normal rotation. When you come up to Western Maryland, it's there, it's easy, and everything here is like in a vacation town kind of thing. So they're all trying to, milk is $6 at the market. It's $2.99 at Walmart. So you know what? The intelligent man, the guy who says, I don't have the extra disposable cash to spend and just let go, goes to Walmart for here. That's, you talk about big businesses. I don't see how people live up here. The salaries aren't as high and, it's just a tougher existence, et cetera. Of course, and then you got to come in because people from Washington, D.C. come up to Deep Creek, Maryland, and these towns that are just inflated or the markets are inflated. There's no secret price for locals, is there? Maybe I got to get the locals card. That was always on Mondays, like in the Hamptons. If you stayed over, it was like employee night. Everything was like half price. But anyway. So you go to the Walmart. It's important. $6 for milk or $3 for milk. That's real money. That is real money. But anyway, I'm looking at an article about Walmart. It was in the Wall Street Journal. And Walmart's reigned as the biggest retailer in the United States by revenue. Last year in sales, it had $648 billion. And it breaks down to, according to the Wall Street Journal, more than $1.2 million a minute. And they're a machine. They are a machine. So I get it. But the thing that happens is that Walmart has 90% of Americans shop at Walmart. 90%. But Walmart wants 4% growth each year. How the hell are you going to do that? And if they don't meet their target, they're good, their stock's going to go down. Everything's going to be, it's crazy. This is terrible. America's in a recession and all that kind of stuff. They got 90%. How are you going to capture 100%, 95%? How are you going to capture 95% of Americans? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the thing is about it is that they're talking about as it faces continued uncertainty in consumer confidence, and while it's spending in some areas, it's pulling back in others. Earlier this week, Walmart told workers it would cut hundreds of corporate jobs and ask most remote workers to move to offices. You know how I feel about moving back to offices. I'm not upset about that. Especially if you moved to 16 towns away because of the pandemic, you should have thought about that. They might recall you one day. But anyway, now they got to cut things. They're $648 billion, 1.2 million a minute, and we're going to cut jobs. That doesn't make sense to me. And that's the day I lost it for the stock market. This was, 20 years ago. Exxon had the largest corporate profits of all time, and their stock went down because they didn't meet expectations. What does that mean? What are our expectations? It's a gamble. The stock market's a gamble. I'm talking about Walmart, but it's for the bigger thing. It's like 90%. This is what I was talking about with Netflix last week or 2 weeks ago. Netflix, right? They're not giving subscriber information because they finally got smart. They were like, okay, we're going to hit our number of subscribers. And now that we're spending money, we're not going to make as much money, but maybe we'll get more subscribers. But it's all going to be, they've hit their number of subscribers. It's not important anymore because now they got the tiers and they're going to go with advertising and all of this kind of stuff. They're going to become a network. They're going to become a streaming network because they're going to have advertising. And that sucks. Streaming advertising sucks. You're sitting there, you want to watch something, and all of a sudden, and they don't know how to cut. At least television knows how to cut. Some of these things, like especially on Hulu, bam, right in the middle of something. There was no way that show was made to be cut right there. There was no dramatic pause. There was no fade to black, no anything. these shows, they just drop in commercials. And that's like that's like podcasts too. I listened to a couple podcasts and all of a sudden them guys are talking and right in the middle of them talking, they drop in an ad for the farmer's dog or something like that. You know what? If you're going to do that, I'm going to stop listening. If you're going to force advertising down my throat all the time, I'm out. I'm out. This program is an independent program. Outside looking in will take no corporate money. We will not take lobbyist money because no one has offered lobbyist money or corporate money. No one has offered me a salary or commercials because I'll take it. To hell with it. But I'll be right back. Ta-da. But anyway, the thing about Walmart too, Walmart is the number one killer of the environment. Why do you say that, Bruce? Because I went to Walmart and they were putting one thing in plastic bags. Plastic, you know what? My thing with plastic is the water bottles. I cannot stand plastic water bottles. I see how much, like, my kids will finish a water bottle and how much plastic there is. And I'm like, oh, this is never going to go away. And the thing that kills me about it, my kids talk about me being the problem. You are the problem. I drank water from a freaking hose. A hose, I tell you. A hose. Or a thermos. What's a thermos, Dad? Ah, shut up. It's something what you got with I don't even want to explain to you what a thermos is. But, you know, I drank water out of the tap with a glass. These guys are drinking out of plastic bottles and they're telling me I'm ruining the environment. It's not me. It's all you. It's all you, little man. What are you going to do about it? So anyway, Walmart is putting single things. I walked out of a Walmart with, I guess, 30 items. I had 27 bags. Are you out of your mind? I mean, seriously, sometimes I appreciate the convenience of a bag, but I try to stuff as much as I can in it. In Montgomery County, that would have cost me like $35 because each bag costs $7. No, that's not true. It's 5 cents per bag. But I understand that. I understand it. And in New Jersey, right, they don't even give you plastic bags anymore. You don't even have the option. So if you're traveling to New Jersey, you go to the Jersey Shore, you're like, SOL, man. You're just straight out of luck. You're like, I guess I got to buy these recyclable bags for $1. But yeah, Walmart, I mean, I don't know if it's just Western Maryland or it's everywhere, but they put a single thing in a bag. Drives my wife nuts. And seriously, I got 27 bags here. It's like, what am I doing with this? So what do? It's like even carrying 27 bags into the house, if they're single things or not, I don't have enough hands. So what do? I go out to the car and I put them in my recyclable bags, and it only took me 5. I should have brought them in. But I didn't. My fault. But I'll use those bags. I'll do something. I'll create a balloon or a quilt for some cause or something out of those bags, and it'll be worthwhile. So I was talking about streaming services, Hulu and Netflix and all this kind of stuff. I was listening to the radio the other day, and this is some streaming service shakeout. The NFL is going to be on Netflix now, and Netflix has, the Christmas Day game or something? So we got to get into live sports. It's so important. People are watching reruns on your place. They're watching Bridgerton. No one really gives a darn about football. Just leave it on CBS and Fox. Maybe NBC and ABC. Just leave it on regular television. Enough of this Netflix nonsense. But anyway, to get every NFL game this year, you will have to pay close to $950 in subscription services. That means you got to get but Prime, Netflix, I guess Paramount has a game, wherever the NFL network is. I mean, $950 to watch something that used to be free. It's all going to dry up, NFL. One day, just like Walmart's talking about, 90%, they can't grow anymore. You're not going to be able to grow anymore. Because I'm telling you, I'm not buying Paramount to watch the Miami Dolphins play the Kansas City Chiefs because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care enough to do that. You want NFL, you want to get revenue? I live in the Washington, D.C. area. I cannot stand the Commanders, the Redskins, whoever. I will not watch them because, first of all, they are boring. And if I'm going to be bored, I want to watch the New York Giants, a team I actually like. So if I'm going to be bored, the NFL, you know what you should do instead of telling me in DirecTV and telling me I got to spend, or YouTube TV, I got to spend $425 to get the whole NFL package? Just sell me the Giants for $99. Because half of their games are on free TV anyway at 8 o'clock, which I hate. There's nothing worse than Monday Night Football. Oh, it's a big to-do. For who? Who's watching? Once you hit a certain age, after 27, you're not watching anymore. And if you're 27 with kids, you're sure as hell not watching. I got to get up in the morning. I know I'm yelling and screaming, but I'm fired up because this is the last ditch of energy that I have because I did yard work and I'm about to crash. But anyway, I hate Monday Night Football. I hate Sunday Night Football is absolutely the worst. It's the worst. And these games that say they're going to start at 8, it's starting at 8:15, 8:20. It's like the NHL. I'm watching the Rangers on ESPN, which is the worst hockey coverage of all time because they got cutaways. There's something going on in front of the net. People are throwing fists, and all of a sudden I'm seeing a cutaway to some fan behind the Ranger bench. I don't care about that. I want to see the game. And Sean McDonough, the guy seems like he's on Benadryl all day. And the Rangers go in. And Ray Ferraro can't get a name right. And all of a sudden, too, And Ray Ferraro's mic is not even up high enough. And I got to listen to PK Subban and Messier. All he wants to do is Messier just wants to turn and punch the guy in his face. You know that's what it's about. And it's just like, PK's, let me tell you, it's not happening for the Rangers right now. And I don't care if it's the Rangers or whatever. He's just trying to be the man, and you're not the man. You never were the man. You missed being the man. For all the people who don't watch the NHL, I know you just shut it off, and I'll stop talking about it. But anyway, the NFL, what you should do for $99 or $89 for $100, all right? I'll give you $100 to watch all the Giant games. Me and my dad could have sat there and watched all the Giant games. There was never a man I've seen who was more into Giant football than my father. Nobody, ever. We had a New Year's Eve party back in Westwood Avenue, 7 Westwood Avenue, the place to be in New Rochelle. Back, I don't know, 2000, whatever. And the Giants are playing. It's New Year's Eve. Giants are playing. Everyone's like, I was interested, but not that interested. I got friends over. I got Patty Boyle, Chris Ehrlitz, all these guys. Gio's over. Carp's over. Everybody's over. I'm all choked. And the game comes on. My dad's talking to everybody. And then the game comes on. He goes into a corner, looks at the TV. He's done until the Giants are over. It was absolutely amazing. And then when he moved in with me down in D.C., I would tell him, and when the Giants, it's like before Dable came, whatever, Giants lost 41-17 to the Raiders or something. He watched the whole game through. He could evaluate talent. It's pretty amazing because the guy only played football, club football in Van Cortlandt Park or Fordham Road Park or whatever near the Grand Concourse in the Bronx. He never played more than that. But the guy could evaluate talent. He would go to the Giants training camps and tell me who's going to make the team. He'd be like, watch out for this 41. He's a player. Watch out for this number 20, Sam Garnes. He's a player. And Sam Garnes turned out to be one of my favorite players. But anyway, what I'm saying there is just if you just gave it to him for an affordable price, I could have. So meanwhile, we had to get the NFL thing for $17 a month. And he could watch the games a minute after they ended. It's like, I'm not watching it. It's like once I know the score of a game, especially if the Giants are down, because football is the toughest sport to watch if your team stinks. It's that simple. Toughest sport. So what else was I talking about? A couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, a couple whatever ago. I don't know, eons. Who knows? But anyway, McDonald's is launching a $5 meal. Good for McDonald's. Let's hear it for McDonald's. All right, enough. But anyway, they're launching a $5 meal it's the recession buster, right? To get the people back. Finally, someone's listening to this program. Ronald McDonald, Grimace, and the Hamburglar. They got together in a meeting and said, yo, be nice. Be nice. I keep referring to myself as be nice. Bruce is saying what we need to be saying. He's right. There is no more disposable income. People aren't coming to McDonald's for $15 meals. $5 meal, double cheeseburger, crispy McChicken sandwich, some French fries, and a Coke. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Now, seriously, good for McDonald's because at least they're trying to do something. But all the franchisees were like, oh, we can't do this. Corporate's like, you're not going to get the people. You need the people to come in. You need Bruce to come in. $5. What are you doing? Because if he gets the $5, he'll be happy. He's like, oh, it's extra on some of this stuff. It's just not the people coming in. My kid's still not going to get a double cheeseburger. He wants the damn quarter pounder. My other kid wants a double quarter pounder, but he doesn't eat the bun. What the hell is the matter with my kids? What is going on? But good for McDonald's with that, Seriously, good for them. So we talk about this program being ahead of the curve. This program is me. You talk about me being ahead of the curve. It was funny. When Prince changed his name to his symbol there, I had a symbol too. It was 2 fingers on a wrist because I'm the pulse. That's right. I'm the pulse. I'm the pulse of the people. Because let me tell you something else. There was an article that came out in the New York Times. Oh, Bruce, you read the Washington Post, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal? Whoa. Where do you get the time? I don't. I read the headlines. No, I read what's interesting to me. But anyway, what were they saying? New York Times is telling me Baltimore, right? What did we talk about Baltimore? I said I was there in the middle of the day and I was scared. Every time I go to Baltimore, I'm scared. I'm a tough guy. I grew up in New York City or in the New York City area, right? I've been to Times Square. I've been to all these places. Maybe it's the home turf situation, but Baltimore scares me. It absolutely scares me. The only other place outside of New York that scared me was Reno, Nevada in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. Maybe on the weekends there are a ton of people there, but you get out of the casino at Reno, Nevada. I was there for a trade show. You get out of the casino on a Tuesday. I was going to walk down the block somewhere to another bar to drink or drown or whatever. This is my younger days. But I was like, I'm going to go down there. I'm not going to spend money on the casino. I'm going to watch the game, have the beer special, etc. I walk out, and I'm like, sketchy guy, sketch. And then I walk into a convenience store to buy a soda, and they got the bulletproof glass, and they're selling Lucy cigarettes. I'm out. See ya. Back to the hotel. Back to the gambling. I didn't go gamble, but at least I didn't leave the hotel. I was nervous. The big tough New York guy. Oh, in New York. Hey. But I'm scared in Reno, Nevada. But anyway, Baltimore. New York Times is telling me that Baltimore is the U.S. overdose capital of the world. Well, I guess it's of the U.S. Not the world. But anyway, we're not going to edit that out. But anyway, U.S. capital of overdosing. No shies. I'm serious. It's like you go up there. I told you, my wife and I ran like a half marathon up there or a 10-miler. And it was in 7 a.m. And I told you, it was the first time all these people, oh, thank you for your service to the cops and stuff like that. I appreciate the cops. I'm all for the cops, etc. The blue line, my people. But I'm not going to be one of those phony people. But I was in Baltimore. I was like, thank you for your service. Because I'm serious, man. We were stepping on crack vials. In one area, not the whole town, not the whole city, but in one area. It was like 7 a.m. we're running because you got to start all these races early. And people are still out winoing and all of this kind of stuff. Baltimore's just straight up scary. They've had, over the last 6 years, they've had 6,000 overdose deaths. 6,000. And it's like, then the article starts to say, Baltimore used to be a champion. People used to look to see how they were keeping their overdoses underneath, and they were like championing Narcan and all of this kind of stuff. But gun violence got in the way. The pandemic got in the way. It's like, what, real issues that we're going to worry about? I mean, how does a city do it? How do you worry about people overdosing? How do you worry about gun violence? How do you worry about this stuff? What do you do? What do you do? And especially now with the immigration and the migrants coming in, are you giving them everything? What's happening to your own people? Not that Baltimore's in that situation. I'm talking specifically about New York City right now. But I mean, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trump goes up to the South Bronx. You know what? All I got to say about this, that's the first time a sitting president or a president since Jimmy Carter, or maybe Reagan was there, I'm not sure. But that's the first time in how many years that a president went up to the South Bronx? At least he recognized that there's people up there. Joe Biden can go to Morehouse and tell everybody how bad the world is, how bad people have it. But at least Trump's talking to somebody, and going to somewhere, whether it's a publicity stunt or not. He was there. This is my thing about Obama, too. Obama used to come to New York City all the time, and he would go up to Harlem for fundraisers. Everybody made fun of George Bush on 9/11 for sitting out of school talking about reading Reading. He was sitting there reading. I know the situation overwhelmed him, and there's, 9/11 came and his face was like, what do I do? No one knew what to do. All right. No one knew what to do. Especially until once the Pentagon got hit, and then he's like, okay, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry. But he was there for a reading situation. Obama, let me tell you about Obama. Obama never went to Harlem to read a book. Never went up there to read a book. Never went up there to say, hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm president. I am the president of the United States. I'll come up to Harlem for money, but I will not come up Harlem to inspire. I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't worth his time. I had that argument 20 years ago or whenever it was with a guy named Philip in my office, and he was yelling and screaming at me, calling me a brown shirt. Get out of here with the brown shirt nonsense. I'm just talking the common sense, man. Common sense. So what happened? David Trone, I told you, David Trone. All that money, Brewster's Millions, him and Richard Pryor lose an election. $62 million. Poof. Bye-bye. See ya. Unbelievable. Also, Brooks got 54% of the vote. So David Trone is not even in the election. Larry Hogan and also Brooks. So we're going to have a Republican versus a Democrat, and this Republican, Rhino in name only. I told you about Larry Hogan. It's the Republicans I used to know. Not conservatives dressed up in Republican things. Don't tell me that you're a Republican and just because you're a hardline conservative. And then another thing about the Republicans, all right? And now the Trump Republicans. And what I'm talking about is all these guys who lined up at his trial, to show the loyalty to the Don. If they could kiss the ring, they would. Because guess what? Trump's going to win. I'm sorry, Trump's going to win. Whether you like it or not, Trump's going to win. What's the alternative? And somebody said to me, it's like the best thing that happened to Trump is this trial because it just keeps him shut, his mouth shut. He can't say anything, keeps his mouth shut. So all these other people come up, these mouthpieces, like Matthew Gaetz from Florida, the rep from Florida. This is a guy who should take a long walk off a short pier. All right, go out to the pier in Santa Monica or wherever, not Santa Monica, in St. Augustine, wherever you're from, Miami Beach. Take the long walk, the short pier. See you, bye-bye. Because, Mr. President, this is what he says. Mr. President, I will stand back and stand by. Why are you invoking the Proud Boys thing? I mean, why? What are you doing? Doesn't Trump need the moderates? I'm a moderate Republican, right? And I could see the writing on the wall. Trump, you need me. Matthew Gaetz, you need me to vote for Trump. You need me, especially in your Democratic state of Maryland. You need me. Don't start talking this nonsense because I am not aligning myself with the Proud Boys or any of that nonsense. But maybe I will vote for Trump. But the more you put this out in front of me, the more you open your mouths and yap, 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 the less I'm inclined to vote for you. Don't be stupid. And it's exactly what it is. It's stupid. But this is the reps. This is the House. This is the Congress. Congress, right? Unbelievable in Congress. You know who my favorite person in Congress is? John Fetterman. And you remember how I talked about Fetterman? This guy won't wear a suit. Well, you know what? Maybe he shouldn't wear a suit because he's the only one speaking some truth sometimes. He called Congress after the thing with the rep from Texas and Ocasio-Cortez. See, I got her name now, AOC. Ocasio-Cortez. How you doing? How you doing? Baby girl, don't play that with me. What are you, Jenny from the block? Relax. Relax. And Marjorie Greene, another nut job, all right? There you go. Put them all in the sandbox. They don't play well in the sandbox. But anyway, John Fetterman, the guy who refuses to wear a suit and likes to wear cargo shorts and a sweatshirt, is the one calling Congress the Jerry Springer Show. And Ocasio-Cortez gets all pissed off at him. Well, maybe you're a bully. You're a bully. Oh, shut up, you're a bully. Because someone wants some decorum on the floor, but I don't get it. Put on a suit, John, and you'll be a hero. Well, I'll wave a flag for you. I mean, seriously. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, baby girl. I'm Ocasio-Cortez from the block. And that's not racist. That's not anything. So don't even try to run it, all right? Don't even try to run it. Oh, baby girl. Homie, don't play that. I mean, come on. Come on. I worked in rap music. I'm down. I used to be down back in the day, 35 years ago. What I like about Fetterman, or what Fetterman would like about me, let me put it that way, is I got socks. I got high Adidas socks. I like to wear them like tube socks. I know it looks terrible. I look like Michael Cooper from the '83 Lakers, but I like to wear them up to my knees, just under the knee. It's comfortable. It doesn't look good. When I go out, I take them down. But when I'm around the house or doing anything else, I'm wearing my socks high, yo. The only thing I don't have is stripes. I don't have tube socks, but they are tube socks, but they're plain white. It's ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, but it's comfortable. But I understand that I can't go out looking like that because I don't want to embarrass my family. It's that simple. There was one other thing I read in the Washington Post. It says the House blocks non-citizen voting in D.C. You know, the House runs D.C. on issues bigger than city issues or local issues. And but that just struck me as an odd headline. House blocks non-citizen voting in D.C. I mean, shouldn't there be one thing that we have? I mean, citizens should be able to vote, right? And they should have the right to vote and go out there and free access. I mean, but we're making voting so easy. How do you give citizens a non-right to vote? You know, I mean, how do you give non-citizens the right to vote? How do you do that? How is that right? How is it? You're not from here. You are not us. How do you get to decide what's going on? That's a problem. That's a real problem. And again, you can call me the brown shirt or whatever, but come on. Citizenship. If you're a citizen, I will not block your path ever to the poll. You don't have to bring ID. You don't have to do anything. You know, you can vote 6 times. You can go Dropbox or to the poll. You can do whatever. But if you're a citizen, I'm not going to say anything. If you're a non-citizen, how do you give government? How do you let people who are not part of the United States but just live here take part in voting? You don't. That's why. You know what? You just don't. It's that simple. I'm done with that. So let's go to the wall of annoyance. All right, enough. They annoy me. So first and foremost, on the wall of annoyance, I bought a sandwich the other day. It was pre-wrapped. I was looking at the thing, but they didn't tell me. It was a tuna sandwich. All right, so I like tuna fish. I don't understand. Do restaurants and other people do not have Hellmann's mayonnaise? I mean, what is the industrial strength mayonnaise that they use that makes it gummy? I mean, Hellmann's isn't gummy. I like tuna with mayonnaise, and it's fine. But I also don't mind. I like tuna straight. Sometimes I like to put tuna with a little bit of cucumber slices on top as a sandwich. I will accept, because back in the day, Lord & Taylor's lounge upstairs used to put celery in their tuna. I can deal with that. Mothers around Davis School neighborhood used to put celery in their tuna. I could deal with that. What I cannot deal with, and what makes me annoyed, is onions. You cannot put onions in your tuna and not tell somebody. That's right. That's how annoyed I get. You cannot put onions in tuna. It doesn't work. I don't know where you're from. You're a non-voting citizen if you're putting onions in tuna. Other thing that annoys me are hashtags that don't mean anything. I was looking at Facebook the other day. There was some girl on there who got to do a runway model thing. So she was so excited. She puts it up, but then she's got, oh my gosh, it's so nice. Nice to see I'm still in my comfort zone on the runway. So she puts hashtags, hashtag runway model, hashtag runway, hashtag charity event, hashtag walking, hashtag dress for success. Other than the dress for success, which was the title of the show, I don't understand what any of this stuff was. Hashtag charity. So I'm going to hashtag charity. Oh, good. She's up there. I mean, come on. Talk about nonsense. Nonsense. That's nonsense. And then I got one more here. And this comes from a teammate of mine, this guy Brandon. So he was talking about the wall of annoyance. And he says, let's put this on. He's talking about Veers Mill Road. It's getting regraded or whatever. So they're tearing it up. So people are going over the bump. And he's like, people in Jeeps, people in SUVs, even people with cars that are not scraping the ground, going over this thing in 3 miles per hour. And I agree, that's an annoyance. You got a Jeep. What did you buy a Jeep for if you're not going to take it out and run over a speed bump at 10 miles per hour? I'm not saying do 50, but 10. Stop. Unless you got a lowrider, I go over the damn speed bump with some, without having to brake and dum, dum, dum. Ugh, it's annoying. Brandon, I agree with you. You made the wall of annoyance. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, enough. And here's the last thing that I'm going to close on because we're going on 36 minutes. Whoa, I had nothing to talk about. But I'm alone up at Western Maryland. I can talk for days because I haven't talked all day except to the dog. Biscuit! Woof! Woof! Anyway, NCAA. NIL. It's coming to a head. It's coming to a head because you know what's going to happen soon enough? In about 3 years, the NCAA athletics, all Division I schools are going to have a lockout. They're going to lock the athletes out because as my brother said, and Dartmouth, right? Dartmouth basketball, and this is very, very funny. Dartmouth basketball is trying to start a union. We need a union. We need workers' rights and all this. You're going to Dartmouth. And my brother said it, and he's so damn right. Who needs Dartmouth basketball? And I was like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, Eric, nobody needs Dartmouth basketball. Nobody. That's right. Nobody needs Dartmouth basketball. Take your union and get the right there. You hear that? You know what I'm smacking. Get out of here. The program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Nice. Oh my God, I did it again. My name is Bruce Negrin. And you caught the snort. That's how you know I'm really laughing, if I snort. Anyway, program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. We will talk to you next week. And what should we play? Let's play with this. All right. World Upside Down featuring Eric Negrin. Ho!